Hello everybody. In the next series of videos, I'm going to be discussing Windows API or WinAPI. Windows API is Microsoft's core set of application programming interfaces. Just about all versions of Windows interact with Windows API, but some of the things that I'm going to be showing in these future videos is how to use the VBA environment in Microsoft Excel to communicate with other windows in the operating system. And by communication, I'm referring to setting up tasks such as activating another window, opening another window, and again this is outside of the Microsoft Excel application, disabling other windows, getting text from other windows, any kind of command that we can do where we communicate with a window or an application that is outside of Microsoft Excel. And to help us get started, I'm going to start by showing you one example. And in this example, I'm going to show how to close another window that is not associated with Microsoft Excel. But to show you that example, let me first give you a brief explanation on how Windows API will work. First off, in the operating system, there are several windows that we're going to be working with. And all of these windows that we see are all being controlled by window messages, and every window that we see or even do not see are assigned a special handle or ID. Now, in order to send any kind of message or notification to any one of these windows, we need to first find the window. A program that I'm going to be using to find the window is called Microsoft Spy++. This specific tool came in the Visual Studio package. And what this system does for me, it will crawl the entire operating system, and it will present to you the windows that are open and what their class is, their handle and ID, and a little bit more. But what I can do to show you an example, I'm going to open up a notepad, and I have this right here. It's titled Untitled Notepad. So I can give you this quick demonstration. If I have my notepad right here, and in Microsoft Spy, I'm going to hit the refresh button. Somewhere in here we should see the window that's for the Untitled Notepad. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here and look for it. And here we have it. This is the Untitled Notepad. This is the window here. And it'll show you different windows that are within the Untitled Notepad application. In this case, we have an edit and we have a status bar. So we have this box right here, and I'm not entirely sure where the status bar might be. I don't know if it's maybe invisible. But this is what we're going to use though to look at all the windows. This gives you just a graphical view of your system's processes, threads, windows, and window messages. So I'm going to minimize this, but this is going to be one helpful tool. The next tool that I'm going to talk about is an application that we can use to look at all of the API statements, more like the declarations. This application was not built by me, or this web page I should say, but I have this web page right here that's open, ActiveVBDaddy, and in this application, in this web page, I download this application. If you click download V3.10 and install it, and I'm going to show you the results that I get here, the application. I have this application in front of me. It is an old application. It's API Viewer 2004. But this application will allow me to open up the Windows 32 API. And so let me go on and open that up. And I'm going to show you what I have. I already have a module that's already pre-compiled. It's one that I had set up. And I'm going to assume already that you've been working with macros already in Microsoft Excel. You have a fairly good knowledge of VBA. I'm going to go to my Visual Basic environment and pull up a module that I have put together. And this module has a lot of API declarations, as you can see right here. All of these declare statements were retrieved using the API Viewer 2004. And I'll give you an example. The one that we're going to use in this example is going to be find window. And if I go to the API Viewer and type in find window, we'll see that it says declare function, find window, lib user32.dll, and so forth. If I go back to my VBA, we'll see that it's the same with the exception of PTR safe. This was a requirement that was set in 2010, I believe, on 64-bit edition and further. I could be wrong, don't entirely quote me on that, but if I was to try to save it without PTR safe, and I was to, let's say, press the down arrow, I'll get an error telling me that the code in this project must be updated for use on 64-bit systems. So I'm giving you this information based on this message box. I haven't researched it, to be honest, but from what I can see here, okay, the PTR safe attribute is required on 64-bit systems. And all you do is you put in PTR safe. I didn't copy it right. You just get PTR safe, copy that, and put it right before the function. I could put user32.dll, but in this case I'm just going to put user32. But just wanted to show you that all these API statements, these were not written by me. These are provided by Microsoft, but I'm using API Viewer 2004 to load up this information. So time for the first example. I'm going to insert a new module. I'm going to do sub close window. This is going to be the example I'm going to give you. So I'm going to put the notepad window is equal to find window. Here I'm going to put VB string because I'm not going to put the class name, but I know the title of the window. And the second parameter can be the title of the window. So I'm going to put untitled notepad. First off, to make sure if this works, what you can do for yourself is do like a message box, the notepad window, and you hit play or F5, and I'm getting a number returned. And that means that I am getting a window that's titled untitled notepad. Now if I was to say untitled notepad 1 and play that, I'm going to get a 0, which indicates that a window was not found. Now in this case, I do not have a window that's open right now that says untitled notepad 1. So it is untitled notepad. I can hit F5 and there you have it. Now what I'm going to do is open up the notepad in front of you. That way you can see the screen. And what I'm going to do is to call send message, and it's going to be the notepad window. And I'm going to look at my example because it's been a while since I've done this. This is a command that I had created previously. Send message is going to be the window name. You're going to send the window message closed, and this can be 0, 0, these parameters. I'm going to go back to my module. It's going to be WM close and then 0, 0. This should cause the window to close out, so I'm going to close this though. I'm going to make my Excel window smaller so we can see the untitled notepad in the back. And I'm going to go to my macros and I'm going to run that macro that says close window. I'm going to select run, and we see the untitled notepad window close. So this is just a real quick introduction to Windows API. And in the next videos, I'm going to be showing you a lot more examples on working with Windows API. This first example was just how to close a window. But future ones, I'm going to show you how to get window text of Windows, how to disable certain windows, how to hide certain windows. And we're going to do a lot more window API functions. And all the ones that I did here in this specific example, I used find window, and I used send message, and then I used some window message constants, which I'm going to go back to this module that I have over here, and we use the window message WM close. And the WM close was also found in the same application, API Viewer 2004. However, because this is a constant, we will need to switch the declaration in this API Viewer 2004 application to constants, and we look at WM close. And all WM stands for is window message underscore close. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the introduction to Windows API, and I hope to see you in the future videos. Thank you for watching.